business is not the journey that you are taking alone. And in our podcast, we are introducing people behind brands, but we are also bringing experts from different fields related to business. And the conversation with such experts is really valuable for you to understand how you can get support in your business and who can help you with that. Some talks are related to certain topics in business, and today we are having Sari Awwad. Sari is a business coach and published author specializing in business and marketing, branding, like we know Sari from our previous conferences. And thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Inshallah, thank you.
We had you in our business conferences 2 times so far, and you were talking about branding, management, marketing, and I know that this is the field that you specialize in. And I ask you today to have this conversation about pricing for creative people, because this is something that is really a painful point for many creatives, and they don't know how to price. I would love to hear your opinion how to price creative works, what can be the hidden threats or something like complications for people when they try to price their products, what challenges they have.
Before we actually think about pricing, people jump into price. They call me up, oh, I want you to help me with pricing. And inside I actually laugh, because I'm thinking, no, before pricing, what's your positioning? So people thinking about the price, the dollar amount, the number. And no, the first thing you need to think about is, where do you position yourself in the minds and in the hearts of your customers? If you're thinking about a number and you're thinking about a price range, you're doing it wrong. Because at the end of the day, you don't want your customers to look at your price and look at it as it's something that, oh, it costs them this much and they're adding in a percentage and all of a sudden they're charging this much, oh, they're a rip-off. No. Once you start becoming confident, let's focus on the word confident, and you price according to the value that you want them to perceive, pricing becomes a lot easier.
Okay.
In the past, people would price based on hourly rates, or they would price based on the cost of the item and then add another 20 or 30%. But for creatives, unfortunately, you cannot do that. Because for a creative, what they're doing, they're selling you something, and the perceived value is what they can actually raise their price upon. So if you position yourself, and this comes back to the language you use when you speak to customers, that you are focusing in your mind and your heart, and the language you use is focused only on price as a number, all of a sudden you yourself, you've put your product or service in a very limited situation. You put them in a corner, and that's when your customer starts to what? Starts to bargain and starts to question your pricing and starts to compare your pricing to something else.
Okay.
Once you position, you are confident enough to say, no, the product or the service I'm providing, it has a perceived value, then pricing is totally different. I'll give you a basic example. Most people know that Apple computers are a lot more expensive than Dell and HP, but they all do the same thing. And most likely they cost very, very similar. But an Apple computer costs maybe 3-4 times as much as any other computer. Why? Because they branded, before they priced, they branded their image in front of the customer that we give you a perceived value that no other computer will ever give you. So when customers buy, they are buying the perceived value. They're not buying a keyboard and a mouse and a screen that does work. So that's something important.
Does it mean that the pricing actually begins with self evaluation and validating your work and the process that you're creating?
It starts with self-awareness. Who do you want to become? If you're happy to price low and you want to be perceived as someone who is low price, fine, do that. But for creatives, unfortunately, it's unfair. Because for someone who's creative, they're putting their heart, their soul. You cannot measure someone who designs a logo or a photographer or even a videographer or how long is it going to take you? Is it going to take you 3 hours? Habibi, it's not the 3 hours. You're not paying me on 3 hours. I've spent years
to learn,
practicing
yes.
this skill. And is it fair that I charge you on 3 hours and I'm someone who's quick? I'm quick because I'm good. I've practiced years and years and years.
This is what I noticed in my photography studio. Yes.
So is it fair that I charge you for 3 hours when someone who's just started a year ago charges you for 3 hours? And then there's going to be a revision, there's going to be edits, you're going to go back and forth. You're not going to get the customer experience that I'm going to give you because I've been there, done that many times.
Yeah.
Are you going to punish me for being quick, for being so good?
Yeah.
So realistically speaking, and same thing with me, I'm a creative, I'm a business coach, but I find creative solutions to help business owners become unique. So is it fair that I charge you based on the sessions? No. I'm squeezing 20 years of business experience
to give you a session.
These sessions.
Yes.
So it's unfair for me to charge you based on an hourly rate.
Right.
So you as a creative, you as someone who's giving a service or a product, you need to value yourself first.
Okay, so this self-value, it comes from experience, it comes from the knowledge that you received in your field, and when we are mastering the craft, let's say within years, of course, this is how we feel about our products, and this is how much we are ready to price them. But I think it's not only about the experience; the process. I think this is the most important. The experience during the process, if it's a service, or the experience when a person is creating a piece of art, let's say a craft, a handmade product. For them, this is difficult to price because, for example, when you're talking about a coach or a photographer who are creating certain experience during the session, let's say, for a crafter who is making a piece, how they can incorporate this experience, what will be the experience for their customers as a perceived value and a part of the pricing policy?
It starts with creating awareness creatively on what goes behind the scenes to create that product.
Okay, that's why it's important to show. Yeah.
Very important to show. And not just show, but at the same time, when you are choosing your customers, I'm known for this. People work with me over here, they always choose your customers. Okay, any luxury product, any product that is of high value, perceived value, they design the business, they design the product, they design the whole customer journey to choose clients who appreciate handmade.
Does it mean that when you underprice your service and your products, you are targeting the wrong customers in the wrong market? How
100%.
It works?
Because it's basically humans have different priorities. Some humans' priorities are that they value money more than anything else. So they would see buying something that is handmade, because it's handmade, they see that because it's handmade, I don't really care if it's handmade or not, I just want to wear a jacket. I want value for money. Okay, this jacket, makes me warm, looks good, I don't really care where it comes from.
Okay.
It comes from Vietnam, I don't really care, it's cheap, does the job, I don't care how much they get paid. For me, it's no big deal. They value that part. Other people value nature. They value the environment. So no, I'm not going to be working with people who don't care about the environment. So they're willing to pay something more for that. So it depends on the priorities of your customer. Are you looking for customers that value handmade? Are you looking for customers who value your experience? They value the customer experience. They want to go through a nice customer experience. For example, there are some shopping malls. You pay more because you are grocery shopping, because you get a really fabulous experience from the customer service, the way they deal with you. It's just amazing. And then other people, they don't really care about that. They just want cheap groceries. They're on a budget.
So then this is not your target. Then this is not your market.
Very good. So those who want a really nice experience, a nice shopping experience, because they get therapy out of the shopping experience, they're willing to pay extra for that. Others, they don't really care if they wait in line and things are missing and the shelves are not nice and tidy and the aisles are small. They don't really care. They want the cheapest product. So it depends on the priorities of your customers. Who are you targeting?
Okay.
So once you understand that, it makes it a lot easier to choose your prices.
So we start with the self-validation first, and then we move to understanding who is your market that you really want to work with, who are your customers, how you imagine them, not in terms of what is their income and where they live, but in terms of their values, what they really want. And you decide, okay, this is your place and this is your position. For example, there is a creative that did these things, okay? He or she understood everything about herself, her business, her experience, and is self-esteem and self-validation is okay. And then they understand what market they want to target. But how we can deal with the fears? What if I want to target this market, but they will reject me? Who I am, that I'm pricing that much? What if they are not buying? What if my price is going to be too high for them? These fears, this is something that is killing lots of designer brands and lots of service providers. What to do with that?
It comes back to self-worth. And I always tell people, you need to show your confidence. Confidence sells. Confidence is very attractive. Confidence brings respect, and confidence actually opens doors.
Yeah.
And that's what people do not understand. We all have our insecurities, no doubt. But you have to crush those insecurities for the bigger goal.
Yeah.
If you want to actually achieve what you just mentioned, then you have no choice but to get out of your comfort zone and accept rejection. And from your first rejection, learn and analyze and critique, why was I rejected? Maybe my approach was wrong. Maybe I was overconfident.
Maybe my wording were not the right to deliver
my
proper
language very, very good.
message. Yeah.
Maybe my dress, right? Maybe my handshake. My
Even
eye
the way
contact,
I walk, the way I talk, everything.
Everything, right? And there's absolutely nothing wrong in you coming and saying, Anastasia, I know you don't want to work with me. I appreciate that and I respect that. Can you tell me why? I would like to learn from why I was rejected.
Okay.
That's confidence. That's power.
So this is a different level of being in business, actually. A long time ago, when I was mentored by a very famous American photographer. She is one of the high-rated photographers in the States, and she was mentoring me as a photographer and as a business owner. And she kept on repeating it, that all these things matter, but never leave any person who rejected your service without explaining why they did so. And this is exactly what you are telling now, because she said this is not something to hurt you and to feel upset about. This is your next level of managing your project and understanding about your business. This is how you grow, and this is how you are learning to find different words, to shape your business properly differently in social media, maybe to change something in your approach, how you talk to people, how you introduce your services, etc. This is just another level.
Accepting no is strong, but understanding that no means I need to learn from it, that's another level altogether.
Yeah.
And no brings peace. So when someone says no to you and you go back and you ask them, why no? I want to know, I want to learn why. It may have nothing to do with you. It may be that they're not ready.
Yeah.
It may be that they're going to think about it.
Yes.
It may be that they need to take care of certain
things. It
things.
can be not now. No, not now.
Yes, not no forever.
Not now, yes.
Okay, so that brings peace to you. If you leave it open and not closed and you don't understand why the no came, you're going to start creating your own dilemma,
yes.
your own story, and no after no, you're going to say
and
enough is enough. You're going to give up.
Yeah, that's right. And this is also, I think, from the other side, the way how you can say no also is very important when you are dealing with pricing and when you price your services. When someone is offering you lesser money that you are offering for your services or your products, very often this is what I've heard from creative. They say, but at least I will have something. I can go down a little bit with my discount to make something just because it's already here. They are ready to pay it to me. And I'm okay with that, to say no from time to time. But I know that in a longer term perspective, it starts creating really huge problems. When you can't say no and you start discounting yourself and changing, it changes the way you feel about yourself. yourself. And
it's a slow death.
It's a slow death. And I think eventually it brings to burnout, because you are trying to adjust yourself and ruining your energy from inside, because you have this self-worth inside. And when you try to adjust yourself to the market demand, etc., you're just breaking yourself and you're burning
100%.
out eventually.
This burnout, no one notices until the end. It's a slow death.
Yes, right.
You don't see it until you realize when everything just starts to collapse. But the death started from the first time you actually compromised what your worth is.
Yeah, that's right. So Sari, when we want to wrap it out now as a final paragraph of our talk, what are the 1, 2, 3 steps in pricing for creatives?
Step number 1 is, where do you want to be positioned in the market? What is the value that you want your customers to see when they look at your logo, or they see your colors, or they see your brand? What value do they perceive?
Okay.
That's number 1. 2, start choosing your customers. Brands who are successful choose their customers. Their customers don't choose them. Step number 2, when you've got that down pat and clear, understand the language you're going to use to create awareness, to create the value, the perceived value that they see when they buy your product. They're not just buying 3 hours of work or a certain product that they hold in their hand. There's a story behind it. There's a perceived value that they see. Maybe it gives them some kind of satisfaction, hidden satisfaction. This is all built where? In the language and the promise and the story behind the product or service you're building.
Okay.
Then you start looking at the pricing. So these 3 come first, then pricing comes later after that.
Looking at the pricing, meaning what are the pricing in the market for the similar services? Or
that's part of it, but do not, if you're a creative, a lot of the time it's very, very hard to compare, because my experience, my touches are different to yours.
Yeah.
So it's unfair for me to judge you compared to me, for many, many reasons.
Yes.
So that's something you need to understand. So once you understand what you're offering and you can articulate what you're offering very well,
Right.
and that's not easy to do at the beginning,
Right.
to articulate what you're offering, then pricing becomes easier, and you're not going to get it right from the first time, but you're willing to pivot and to change and to shift until you get the right mix.
Right. So I think step number 4 then can be continue mastering your craft,
100%.
or continue mastering your experience, whatever you're delivering, and your promises that
And
you're
listen to the
delivering
feedback.
people.
Listen.
Yes, because when you continue mastering and you become more and more confident in the quality, if you feel like you can't price the price you want to receive, master your craft.
Definitely.
If you feel like you are not yet there, the market that you want to hit, master your craft.
Master your 100%. And people, you will find, if you do it well, you will find the people that will value and they will choose you over others. They'll become loyal, and not just loyal, they will choose you and start telling others about you as well.
Right. Because this brings quite a different energy. It's at the end of the day, we are talking about people who are dealing with businesses and people behind businesses. So it's always the energy that you are transmitting through your words, your services, your visuals, and people can feel it. They can feel your fear. They can feel the energy that is put in your, behind your text.
100%.
So that's why this is very important for success. Thank you, Sari, so much
Thank
for
you
this
very much.
talk. I'm sure that we are going to have many more conversations touching different points in business, and it's always very valuable to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.